Okay, so we're gonna go through the global mobile market report from Newzoo today. This just came out. By just I mean in September, so it's still like relatively new. But I guess this is probably one of those where they do every year. So I didn't read last year. I wasn't like reading Newzoo articles and really being that analytic about the gaming industry at the time. So I don't have a whole lot to compare it to. But I don't know a whole lot about the mobile market. So hopefully we get some like really good insights from this. And as always, Newzoo stuff is always free on their website. Not everything is free, but I'm only doing free content because I'm cheap. Um, yeah, but a lot of the reports and stuff are just free for anyone. So that's the kind of stuff I usually go through. Okay, we're gonna go through. This is 34 pages, so it's quite a bit, but hopefully we won't actually spend too much time. A lot of these pages, there's not a whole lot on it. Okay, so let's see the scope of the report. Consumers at the heart of the game business. Key players in the chain for delivering mobile game content to end consumers include publishers, developers, app stores, and mobile devices. This report will classify the key players in the value chain into two major markets: the mobile hardware market and the mobile game market. Okay, so I'm a little bit more interested in mobile games, but we'll probably still read through the hardware stuff just because, again, I don't know too much about it. Okay, so let's see. Was this a survey? Because sometimes they do surveys and they'll usually start you off by telling you like how many people from what areas and stuff they had. Let's see, per market data sources including United Nations, ITU, government reports. Key indicators are country's total population, online population, urbanization rate. That's actually really interesting that their total population and online population are separate. Because like here in the US, I just assume they'd be the same. I've actually never heard of the term online population, even though I obviously know like what they're talking about by it. Let's see, 5G. We're gonna kind of go past some of this. 100 markets are 98.5%. Let's see. Okay, the revenue forecast. This might actually be something that's a little more interesting. Right, see, divine revenues is the amount of industry generates and consumer spending on mobile games through in-app purchases, subscriptions, or paid installs from apps that are categorized as games on the App Store. So this is important. They have to consider themselves games on the App Store. That's a lot nicer than some means of data gathering I've seen. Okay. Does not include hardware sales, taxes, or advertising revenues earned in and around games. Business services, online gambling, and industry. Okay. Let's see. Total mobile gaming revenues are broken down into revenues from the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, and that should be pretty much everything is from those two. Aggregate of all third-party app stores per region. I mean, in America, I don't know if I can name like there's probably like a Samsung store, but I mean, really, it's those two. That's really it. That's all you're looking at. Okay. See, Android mobile game revenues are further split between Google Play and third-party app stores based on consumer research. Yeah, whereas Apple, I think it's just Apple, the iStore. I don't think like Apple's very non-competitive. They don't want other people doing anything with their hardware software. Okay, examples of third-party app stores include the Amazon App Store, Samsung. Yeah, Samsung. Amazon it shows Garena. What is Garena? I've heard of that. What is Garena? Okay, this is something separate, I guess. I don't know. It gives us 2.3 out of 5. Oof. Okay, yeah, I don't know what this is. Okay, I thought I did. Oh, so this is actually important right here. Existing Android app stores in China where Google Play is not available. I guess I never thought about that. I know YouTube isn't available in China, but I guess more like Google services in general aren't. I don't know. Okay, so let's kind of get through here. Terminology is Android emulator. We know what emulators are. Create virtual Android devices. Yeah, so they simulate Android devices. So I could play like an Android like phone game on my computer by using an emulator. Let's see. 5G penetration is the share of 5G smartphones among all active smartphones. An active smartphone or a smartphone that's used at least once per month. This should have its. Why did they add this like definition right beneath 5G? Couldn't they just make it its own? That's kind of. I feel like they messed that up. That shouldn't be intentional, right? Okay, let's see. AR, cloud, compound, crossplay. A bunch of these. Oh, how do they define esports? Let's see this. Competitive gaming at a professional level and in an organized format. A tournament or league with a specific goal. Winning a champion title or prize money. A clear distinction between players and teams competing against each other. So it's not esports if it's not at like a professional level. So things like the LCS Academy, which isn't the highest level, like would that not be considered esports? Is it also like I guess because it has to be like a tournament or a league? Does that mean two like pro teams playing against each other isn't esports either? Or if there's no like prize, specific goal, yeah. If there's no like title or prize at the end, is it just not considered esports? I severely dislike this definition. I mean, okay, Nuzu, I get like you're the big guys, but I really dislike that. Let's see. Gaming personas. I've gone through that on another video. Google Play revenues. Metaverse, this virtual social environment where people can create, engage, and shared experiences. Yeah. Darn, that's actually surprising. They're already like defining that. Okay, I don't think there's a whole lot here. Tablets, virtual reality. We don't need anything on this. Okay, 2021 population 7.8 billion. So yeah, these are in billions. Online population. So this is what? This is probably about 60% of the world's population is considered online. Again, for some reason, this sounds really like thinking about it. It sounds like I believe it, but like if you just asked me like at a gut instinct, I would have actually said it was higher. Smartphone users, active smartphones, 5G ready. Oh, that's not much. Mobile game revenue. Mobile game revenue for 2021 is estimated to be about 90 billion. That's crazy. I hope they talk about how that's like divided up. Okay. Total number of smartphone users will reach 3.9 billion worldwide in 2021, representing a modest year-on-year growth of 6.1%. Asia Pacific will be the largest region in terms of smartphone users, accounting for more than half of the global total. Wow. I mean, I understand, like, with population density, but darn, that sounds crazy. That it's over half, just given, like, the US and Europe. I don't know, maybe it's, like, very stereotypical American of me, where I'm just, like, expect America to be, like, the biggest on everything. Active smartphone and 5G ready smartphones. Yeah. So 2021, we're going to see 4.6 billion. These are active smartphones. So this isn't actually the number of people that have smartphones. These are just the number of smartphones. So if somebody has more than one smartphone, it's being counted multiple times here. I don't like that. Okay. 2021 made about $91 billion on the mobile game market. Direct consumer spending only, excluding ad revenue. That's so much. Okay, so 45% will come from the App Store. Google Play will produce 28.2 billion. A third of all mobile gaming comes just from the Google Play Store. Oh, so when it says the App Store, I guess that means Apple. So the Apple iOS store, darn, that's 15% more than Google Play as a total. That's so weird. I know that. I guess that's again that's because Apple is non-competitive. Like if you use Apple device, you have to use their services. Like no way around it. But darn, that's really weird. Let's see. It'll grow 11.2%. Okay. I mean, that's 11% growth. It's pretty good. But yeah, so the Apple Store last year made about $4.1 billion. Dollars. That's so much. That's such a ridiculous amount of money. Top 100 markets in 2021 by smartphone users. China's number one. Yeah, we expect China number one to be there. Smartphone users, active smartphone penetration. This is what I'm looking at. So China's 66%. India, which is the second highest population, is only 35%. And then America's 82. Are we the highest smartphone penetration? We're the highest on this list, at least, in the top 10. Go America. But yeah, that's crazy. Like, China's still number one, and they only have 66% penetration. They just have so much population on their site to skew all these studies. And I don't mean skew negatively. Like, I believe the data is all accurate. It's just the population of China is so ridiculous. Like, yeah, here it is, about 4 times bigger than the US. India is close, but they only have half the smartphone penetration. I wonder actually why that is. Does India still use a lot of like landline phones or something, so they just don't need smartphones as much? I don't know. I'd be interested to hear some insight on that because I don't know. The lock here means it's not going to give us any more. Yeah, without paying. We're not paying for this. We're cheap. Top 100 markets of 2021. By revenue. Okay, so highest revenue is China. I mean, for mobile gaming, that shouldn't surprise anyone. Second is United States at half of that, which I'm actually surprised it's that much. Because as we just said, China's population is about 4 times the U.S., and then the U.S. is still only like half the revenue. That's nuts. I would expect it to be way, way off. Let's see. App Store. China likes the App Store. They have nothing on Google Play. Third party. Yeah, whatever third party sources China's using are just pretty dominant. But that does tell us that Apple products are still like for sale in China. I guess Google products might still be for sale in China, but the Google Play isn't. Yeah, I'm kind of making an assumption there that's probably not correct. But aside from that, there's no one else that even comes close to China on third party stores. But that's literally just because Google Play. Are there any countries where Google Play is higher? Oh, yeah, right here. Google Play is higher than Apple in South Korea. South Korea, India, Germany, Indonesia. Oh my God. Google's been investing in Indonesia. Look at this. About 6 times higher than Apple. Yeah, Apple seems to be dominant in a lot of places, though. Yeah, South Korea, though, this is still about twice as much. But Indonesia here, Google's been investing there. I mean, they're dominating that market. So I guess as we're going over a new section, what are our really quick takeaways? That China still dominates the mobile market. That's pretty much it. Like the smartphone penetration for China isn't nearly as high as the US. India is second, despite having only like 30%. But the amount of money spent as per part of the population, the United States is actually the highest, I'm fairly sure. It's at least higher than China. Right, China makes about twice as much revenue as the United States, despite the United States having about, what I say, is a sixth of the population? A fourth? Yeah. So if the United States was actually the same population of China, we'd be spending way more in games. We'd be spending what, about 60 million, assuming nothing else changed other than population and everything grew with that. Darn. Okay. Um, Privacy changes ripple across the mobile market. Yeah, privacy is going to be an issue. As these companies recognize there's more and more value, i.e., money, to be gained in tracking and selling data, they're just going to continue to do it more and more. And I don't see this stopping. I don't know what you could do. Like maybe if these companies had like a subscription model to be like taken out, but typically speaking, why? When they can make so much money off doing this, why would they? Let's see. Apple's tracking transparency went live in late April 2021, following 2 months of beta testing. Um, Means users must manually opt in to track their devices, making it more challenging for developers to use advertising technology. That's so weird. Okay, so I guess maybe my assessment's completely wrong because these you have to opt in. I'd have sworn you'd have to opt out of this to track their iOS devices. So it doesn't even gather it. It's not like even Apple apparently doesn't have access to this kind of like software data. So what do they do to get people to turn that on? Right? Because especially now, it's not just that it's naturally turned off, it's that you have to take an extra step to even turn it on. So what do you get for turning it on? There has to be some sort of incentive or they're not going to. Right? Either like probably some like subscription or access to like some free service if you turn it on. I guess it'd be free access to a paid service, but yeah. As of July 2021, roughly 85% of users updated. Our opt in rates were just 17% globally. Yeah, because why would people opt in? You have to give them incentive to actually share their data. People are just naturally like against that for almost no reason. I don't know why people care about that so much. But yeah, they have to be given some sort of incentive here. Let's see. I've shifted part of their ad spending from iOS to Android. Yeah, people are going to invest more in Android if Android just naturally does this. According to Fiber, since mid June, overall ad spending has been around 50-50 between the two platforms, um, with more days in which Android ad spending was marginally higher than that of iOS. Yeah, but iOS dominates most of those markets. Like, the only reason iOS isn't dominating this is because people have to opt in to share their data, which again is so weird. There has to be some reason for Apple to be doing that because they're just throwing away money, right? Unless this is like a PR move, right? Something like we don't like naturally share your data is something to like bring people in. Maybe I want to say a lot of the people that use Apple devices tend to skew a bit older, although I really don't have any data to back that up. And maybe that like demographic of people are just more concerned about sharing their data. I feel like a lot of the people, at least like in my like generation, like my kind of age bracket, we're just aware that these tech companies have our data and they're selling it. Like it's just not a concern for any of us. We just this is something they do. We know this. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Apple gains from that. Maybe I could actually look that up really fast. Apple ATT they gain AT&T. Okay, well, I guess I should have expected that. Forces apps on Apple devices ask your permission before tracking activities across apps and websites. Oh, that's what it does. Okay. Well, that's not as big of a deal as I thought. Android's been doing this. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I might have to edit out this entire section because I'm stupid and misunderstood it. Darn. Okay, changes to the market hybrid monetization. Let's see. Key takeaways that hyper casual games facing increased competition needed to seek more diverse ways to monetize their player bases by taking inspiration from more core titles. For examples, by complementing their in game advertisement with in app purchases and subscription monetization models. These results in titles are called hybrid casual games. So this would be like a game that like gets money from ads, gets money from app purchases, and maybe has like a super model where you like once you pay like every month you maybe don't have any ads. Like I think for most people that's actually like a really good method. Is being able to pay like $2 a month, or it'd probably be closer to five, but whatever amount a month to not see ads. For people that play these games a lot, that's probably like a crazy good deal. But honestly, like they're making way more money by having you sign out of these ads than they're ever gonna make from like the actual ads themselves because they're just not gonna pay enough. Yeah, this is a pretty good model. That's probably really popular with a lot of people. Let's see. Gonna do the tightening privacy measures across the mobile market. Yeah, without as much money from data acquisition. Let's see. And these are behind paywalls. Core games are also adopting strategies from the hyper casual space. Is this adopted? I feel like these hyper casual spaces are adopting more from like gaming models. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the whole like subscription is kind of like a season pass, which gaming's been doing for a really long time. I don't know. Maybe I'm into like a chicken versus the egg thing. Like I don't know which came first, and then in all seriousness, it doesn't matter. Okay. The Apple versus Epic lawsuit for anti-steering rule can change mobile game payments forever. Okay. Result of Apple versus Epic's lawsuit were revealed in mid-September 2021, following year deliberation. Ultimately, judge decided in Apple's favor. 9 out of 10 counts, but chose to penalize Apple via an injunction for its anti-steering app store policies. Anti-steering is when platform holders stop sellers from advertising alternate means to buy items or services outside of their ecosystem. So would that might be something I guess like games being able to directly take money from people as opposed to like going through the app store having to like buy some sort of credit there and then move it in. Because I know with like Google that's what they try to get you to do. Is they try to get you to pay money and then that money gets translated into games. But everything has to go through the Google store so they make more money from it. They don't want you doing like direct payments outside of that. And then a bunch of trends are locked behind paywalls. Consumer insights into mobile gaming. Let's see. Surveyed a representative sample of 5,400 mobile gamers aged 10 to 50, spread evenly between the United States, China, Germany, and Japan, which I believe were the highest spenders. Yeah, I believe this is one, two, three, four, with South Korea being fifth. Okay. Mainstream with its popularity showing no halting. I mean, it's not going to halt. Why would it? Mobile games are pretty convenient. I don't like it though. To be fair, like Pokemon Unite is a good example. Like if that game were on PC, I'd have played it a whole lot more. I don't have a Switch, so I can only play it on my phone, and it gets like it's rough on your hands after so long. You have to like take a break and then like put your phone down, charge it in because it's gonna lose charge really fast. Yeah, it's not an ideal. I still prefer these games come to PC, but I guess like mobile markets hit so many new people. That's going to continue. Still interested to see also how like Wild Rift is doing. I don't. I doubt Riot has released any info on that yet, but I would really like to see like how they're doing in a year versus their main game. Because I don't know. I was very skeptical about Wild Rift at first, but the more I learn about mobile markets, the more I think Wild Rift is actually going to stick around and be really popular. Just being able to play it on your phone. I guess playing it on you can play it on Switch, I think too, which is probably going to get some people, but it's mobile that's really going to take that off. Sample into four groups: non-spenders, minor spenders, up to $5 a month. Average spenders is 5 to 25 a month, and big spenders. So wait, the average person that plays mobile games spends $5 to $25 a month on it? Really? That surprises me. I don't think I know anybody that actually spends any money on mobile games. Like anytime I do play a mobile game, I just sit through the ads. I grit my teeth and go through it. I don't know of anybody that spends any money on mobile games. I'm trying to think. I think I've made one. No, I've made two purchases through the App Store. But one of them, I do like the Google survey thing, which gives you money for just doing a poll every once in a while. And I didn't actually spend any of my money from that because of that. The other one I did spend money on. Um, I spent it for a web game, like a browser game I play called Torn. But the thing is, I only spent it through the Google Play Store because I already had credits on that account. Right, I spent money on the store because Google Play actually gave me credit, so it made more sense to go through them rather than go directly because I already had like a $20 credit or something. And then I added a little bit more. But yeah, that's the only reason I've ever actually put money into like a mobile game. And I don't really even play it from my phone, even though I can. The game just isn't as good on your phone when I can do it on my computer. Okay. Key takeaways. We're almost to the end here. The Pareto principle, aka the 80-20 rule, stating 80% of outcomes from 20% of the causes. Oh, applies to the mobile game market. When big spenders only account for 20% of mobile game players, they make them 80% of the total spend. Really? That's interesting. So those are your whales, right? The whales are like your big catches. These are like the person that'll spend a ton of money into something. The bigger spender, more likely the player looks for exciting social and competitive experiences in mobile gaming. I mean, that makes more sense, right? You're just saying the people that spend more money in games expect more from them. This is a waste of a takeaway. Like, there's no point for this bullet. Social media is a key channel discovering new mobile games. Streaming platforms, influence game review titles are important sources for discovery and for big and average spenders. That makes sense. You see so much advertising for like mobile games on social media. I feel like that's about half the ads I see on TikTok are for mobile games. And they're like garbage mobile games too. Most of them aren't even like decent looking games. They're always the same thing, just reskinned. But yeah, I see social media as like the main way to discover mobile games. Even on Twitch, like what is the most popular mobile game on Twitch? I have no idea. It can't be much. Is it Genshin? It's probably Genshin Impact, right? Viewers high to low. A Fortnite I think is on mobile, isn't it? I think so. Also, hey Nathan. I think Fortnite has to be the most popular mobile game. And I don't think it's even primarily played on mobile. Fortnite, Minecraft, TFT, Hearthstone. Okay, I guess there are a few. I don't consider any of these like primarily mobile games though, but I guess they technically are. I just don't like why would I ever play any of those games on mobile when I could just play on my computer? It's way easier. Openness to in-game ads increases players' level of investment in mobile games. Gamers become more engaged. They're more open to paying for subscription contents. Again, that makes more sense. Like, this is a waste of a bullet. The more gamers enjoy a game, the more likely they're to pay for it.